Advanced Health Sciences Psychology, Virtual Interactive Notebook 3, Day 4, Hassles. Now, before we start, remember last time I said that I was going to do something extreme with my hands and see if the algorithm picked it up, and it did not. What it picked up was my head close to the camera. So maybe that's it. So I'm gonna get real close to the camera and see if that's what the algorithm decides. So here we go. Terrifying. We'll see if it picks that one. Okay, this is day 4, hassles. When I studied psychology in college, we got to the hassles day, and I was amazed that it's an actual scientific term. Hassles. That's a real hassle, man. I just thought maybe it was a slang term, but it's not. All right, so the essential question today, what are hassles? The main idea is hassles, and then the subtopics are defined, cyber hassles, and job strain. Defined, cyber hassles, and job strain. Under defined, I want you to write that hassles are minor irritations and annoyances. Hassles are minor irritations and annoyances. And remember, you can pause. So I also want you to write some examples of minor irritations and annoyances. Lost keys, arguments, bad boss. So sometimes people say that arguments can be traumatic. Technically, trauma is if life is threatened or if you're threatened with serious injury. So if an argument involves threats of harm that you actually believe, then they can be traumatic. Now, there is a school of thought that words can be violence, and that's a controversial thing for me to say. And I'm going to leave that with you. It's when you go to college, you might encounter that. And I just want you to know that that idea exists, that words can be violent. But at least classically, violence is actual bodily injury that could result in death, right? So those are examples of hassles. Research shows, this is another note I want you to take. Research shows that the level of hassles in a person's life, let me start over. Research shows that the level of hassles in a person's life. Research shows that the level of hassles in a person's life can actually be more predictive of disease than life change units. Now, that doesn't appear to be settled science because a lot of these research studies, you need a whole bunch of studies before you can say that the thing is definitely so. But it could be that investigating the hassles in a person's life will predict disease prevalence better than just adding up their life change units. All right, cyber hassles. So cyber hassles are irritations that occur online. And your book says that a study was done among college students. They added up how many times they got cyber hassled. I guess some people call it cyberbullying. How many times that happened in a 10-week period. And the more it happened, the sicker people got. So when they defined as sick was upper respiratory infections. So people got colds or the flu at a higher rate if they'd been cyber hassled more. So cyberbullying or cyber hassling has a real effect. My policy is to try never to write something negative about someone online. So I don't remember the last time I left a bad review of a place. I try to only say good things online because I want to be part of the problem. But we live in an age when people have the green light to just be abominable to people online. Like, look at the comments on YouTube and ask yourself, what would you do if someone was, instead of presenting on YouTube, if someone was in front of you presenting and then somebody else actually uttered that comment out loud? How socially inappropriate that would be. But anonymity online allows people to just be their worst selves, right? So I try not to do that. But that being said, I didn't always try not to do that. When the internet was young, I used to get into just knockdown, drag out internet arguments with people online. Particularly, this doesn't make me a hero. I just a few times I got involved with arguing with actual Nazis online. And it was nothing good came from that. I mean, I didn't change anybody's opinion. I mean, if you've decided to be a Nazi online, you've already thrown reason straight out the window. What am I going to say to you? Just stuff like that. So my time arguing with Nazis is at an end. I don't know. That happened. All right. So cyber hassles, hassles that occur online, and you could call it cyberbullying, and it actually does appear to affect people's health. So maybe insulate yourself from that. Maybe don't argue online with people. You'll be happier. All right. Finally, job strain. So job strain is defined as heavy workload and a lack of control. And this goes to locus of control. I don't think we've talked about locus of control yet. Locus of control is the idea that people will have better psychological and physiological outcomes if they feel that they are in control of their lives. So locus is location. Locus of control. Where do you place the location of control in your life? If you feel that other people or organizations control your life, statistically, you will be less happy and you will be more sick. If you feel that you control your life, you will be more happy and less sick. Now, to be a little controversial, it doesn't necessarily matter if you actually control your life more. You just have to feel that you control your life more. So we as teachers know this. So we will give you arbitrary choices so that you feel like you have control. So if you're acting up in my class, I might say something like, look, you can calm it down right now, maybe go take a walk, come back and just be cool, no harm, no foul, or I can send you to the office, your choice. Is that really a choice? I know which one you're going to pick. But if I can give you the sense that you control some of your life, you might be happier, you might calm down quicker, and it actually works. My wife does this to me all the time. It's very sneaky, and I know that she's doing it, and it still helps, right? Well, you can fix the chair now, or you can do it tomorrow. And or I could do neither. And she goes, well, that's probably not a choice. And I'm feeling manipulated, but then I'll do it. So whatever. Okay. Possibly too personal. All right. What I want you to do after this for your output today is I want you to look at table 14.2, which is, there's two tables. So in chapter 14, section 2, there's a life change units table up above, and then below that, you're going to see the job strain table, and it's going to show you the professions with the most job strain, the professions where you have the heaviest workload with the least amount of personal control. And people in these professions don't live as long, and they get sick at a higher rate. And it's because their workload is too high and they don't have an internal locus of control. They have an external locus of control. Things happen to them that they have to react to. They don't get to choose what the things are. So I want you to draw a picture of one of these people undergoing heavy workload and a lack of control. Now, just to give an example of this in my own life, as a teacher at Cascade, I very much have an internal locus of control. So Mr. Thatcher has very high standards for us. He absolutely does. Mr. Hurley said one time that doing things that would make you an awesome top 10% teacher in other schools just make you normal at Cascade. So we have very high expectations, but we are allowed a lot of autonomy. So Mr. Thatcher watches what we do very closely, but he allows us to do what we want. And the teachers I've met who are the most dissatisfied they're working in schools where the administration forces them to do something a particular way, and it's more stressful because you have less control. So I have very high job satisfaction. My workload is moderate. I'm not overloaded with work, particularly now. And I have a strong internal locus of control. I know I'm going to be held to a high standard, but how I meet that standard is up to me. So I'm very happy working here at Cascade. It's not like that other places. So just to give you an example. So I want you to illustrate someone in a profession who doesn't have an internal locus of control. Things happen to them, who has a high workload that is too heavy. All right. And I will see you tomorrow for day 5.